Can you say it? Today we'll be talking about productivity. Because see,
Yes, ma'am.
operations means you are producing something. Either you are producing some good or you are doing some service. तो वो सर्विस भी प्रोड्यूस ही कर रहे हो ना. तो हमें देखना कि हमारा प्रोडक्टिविटी कितना अच्छा है. द रेशियो बिटवीन हम कितना लगा रहे हैं इनपुट और उससे हमें आउटपुट क्या मिल रहा है. ऐसे तो 100% कभी नहीं होता. कुछ तो वेस्ट जाएगा, कुछ गलत हो जाएगा, मगर एज फार एज पॉसिबल वी शुड मेक दिस रेशियो 1 कि जो इनपुट तो लगाए उतना तो मिल जाए, उससे ज्यादा मिल जाए तो और भी अच्छा है. तो टुडे विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट प्रोडक्टिविटी. निधि, यू स्टार्ट.
Okay,
ओके,
ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
ठीक है.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
हम्म.
Ma'am, kindly share again because it's
I'm
off.
sharing. I'm sharing. Yes.
Productivity in operation management measures output per unit of input, such as labor, capital, or any other resources. The calculation for productivity is straightforward. Divide the output of a company by the input used to produce that output. Productivity is equals to output upon input. In other words, we can say productivity refers to the physical relationship between the quantity produced, that is output, and the quantity of resources used in the course of production, which is input.
Hmm.
It is the ratio between output of goods and services and the input of resources consumed in the process of production. Output
Hmm.
implies total production, while input means land, labor, capital, management, etc. Productivity measures the efficiency of production system. The efficiency with which resources are utilized is called productive efficiency. Higher productivity means producing more from a given amount of input or producing a given amount with lesser inputs.
When when we were small, my mother used to tell us a story in which a man, he calls all his four daughter-in-laws and he gives them one handful of grains, धान देते हैं, and he does not tell them what to do with it. तो क्या होता है, वन द एल्डेस्ट डॉटर इन लॉ थिंग्स करे पता नहीं बुढ़ा तो सटिया गया है, ही शी थ्रोज इट आउट. सेकेंड वन थिंग्स, नहीं, इफ माय फादर इन लॉ हैज गिवन इट, इट मस्ट बी अ फॉर सम रीजन. So she ties it in a cloth and keeps it safely in her safe. Third one thinks कि ठीक है, वो धान से she takes out the chawal and with that chawal she makes kheer and she serves it to the family. The fourth one, what she does it, she sows those धान, उसको बीज की तरह यूज करके. तो next year naturally the input was maybe one handful, the output she received from that was more than that, and she kept on repeating this. So after a few years, the father-in-law again called them and asked them ki what they have done with that dhan. So actually the eldest had no answer because she had thrown it. Second one had kept it safely in, but it had become rotten on all these years. Third one told him ki she had made kheer out of the rice from that dhan and had served the family. The fourth one, she had received only one handful of dhan, and but when she came back, she came with a whole sack full of dhan. तो इनपुट तो वही था, सबका इनपुट वही था, बट सबका आउटपुट अलग अलग हो गया ना. इट इज नॉट दैट इन आवर ट्रेडिशन ऑल्सो वी आर टॉट सो मेनी थिंग्स जो हम अभी मैनेजमेंट में कहते हैं रिसोर्स जनरेशन. हाउ कैन यू जनरेट, दैट इज व्हाट management is all about. How efficiently you do your work, कि जो भी इनपुट हो रहा है उससे आउटपुट आपका ज्यादा हो. तो productivity, as far as it is not always possible, as far as possible you try to make this more than one, so that productivity, and every time with the same input, like one person, uh, like you have, like for example, take a class. In that class, everybody is given the same lecture, everybody has that 24 hours, but in that 24 hours, some people utilize it more efficiently and effectively, and they produce better result. Maybe they concentrate more on their subjects, and then they produce. Some people just waste their time, and they, so their result is affected. तो इनपुट तो सबका वही था, बट आउटपुट अलग अलग हो गया. तो प्रोडक्टिविटी ऑफ दैट पर्सन हु हैज प्रोड्यूस मोर. इसी तरह एनी ऑपरेशन, वी शुड फोकस ऑन प्रोडक्टिविटी. जो हमने इनपुट लगाया है, उस इनपुट कैन बी एनीथिंग, एनी रिसोर्स. इट कैन बी labor, it can be finance, it can be electricity, and so many different things. Man, machine, we say all these things are material. These are the inputs, and from there we produce either some good or we do some service. So with the same input, if you are able to produce more, so naturally your productivity is better than the others. In other words, we can say productivity refers to the physical relationship between the quantity produced, that is what is output, and the quantity of resources used. So what you have used and what you have produced, that is, productivity is a focus on that. So this is a diagram which shows you the productivity is equal to output in a period of time, input in the same period of time. Naturally, अब ऐसा नहीं है कि एक साल में आपने जितना लगाया तो उसी, whatever is your period, whether it is 6 months, whether it is 1 month, whether it is 1 week, whatever it is, the output and input in the same period. So you have input like land, workforce, material, facilities, capital, technology, equipment, and tools. And on these input, with various processes, you transform and you add value to the initial raw material. Sorry. Productivity is output divided by input. Production system is what? Transformation process of value addition. And you produce goods and services. Output which goes to the end customer. This is the system concept of productivity. This is the system. Sorry. This is the system where you are working on the inputs to produce more valuable products. Who was reading? Nidhi,
Yes,
are you
ma'am.
continue?
Productivity factors affecting productivity. Productivity is outcome of several factors. These factors are so interrelated that it is difficult to identify the effect of any one factor on productivity. These factors may broadly be divided as follow. First, human nature and human behavior are most significant determinants of productivity. Human factors may further be classified into two categories as given below. Ability to work. Productivity of an organization depends on the competence and caliber of its people, both worker and managers. Ability to work is governed by education, training, experience, aptitude, etc. of the employee. Willingness, second, willingness to work. Motivation and morale of people is the second important group of human factor that determine productivity. Wages incentive scheme, labor participation and management, communication system, informal groups, promotion policy, union management relation, quality of leadership, etc. are the main factors governing employee
Employees' willingness to work.
willingness to work.
Mm.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Working condition like working hours,
what's some
sanitation,
problem? Sanitation.
libraries,
Wh-
yes, ma'am.
Yes, sanitation,
Sanitation, ventilation,
ventilation,
schools.
clubs,
Yes,
libraries,
ma'am. Is there
subsidized
any?
canteen, company transport, etc., also influence the motivation and morale of employees. So the human is the like yesterday when we were talking about the fifth stage of industrial revolution. So we are seeing we cannot rely absolutely on machines. It is the human factor which is the last uh, 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 affects the whole organization, because finally the machines are also governed by humans. It is okay, they have to be trained, they have to be given the required skills and training, all those things are there, but it is the human factor. I mean, for example, you can see the uh, we try to make a very foolproof, say, some financial transaction, but even then there are humans who hack that system. It is the human who are uh, promoting as well as the detrimental factors. So humans are the most important factor which affects productivity. So human, the ability to work, they should have the proper training, they should have the proper education, experience, all those things, and also the willingness to work. Okay, you are very educated, all that, but you are not, you don't want to work, then what can you be done? So it is the both these things, ability to work and willingness to work. We can motivate him through giving them proper facilities, like uh, uh, mm, willing working conditions should be good, in which they should feel. Ventilation should be go, sanitation facilities should be there, schools and clubs, schools and clubs for the family members should be there. Like if you go to I don't know whether any of you have been to uh, which was previously known as DLW, now it is BLW, Banaras Locomotive Works. It is a township in itself. There are schools run by railways, and there are also private schools in the campus. Then there is a recreational facility. Every type of facilities are given to, so the workers feel that they belong there, and they should give their whole for the production of whatever they are doing. Over there, they are producing locomotives. So if they were doing something else, they would have concentrated on that. It is not only, this is one example which is there at Varanasi, a very big manufacturing unit, but there are so many other examples all over India where similar conditions are made for the workers to work properly in not only their training and education, but also the atmosphere should be created so that they are don't feel out of place. They feel like working over there, and they give their best to the productivity of whatever they are producing. So these two factors go together, ability to work and willingness to work. Both should go together, then only you can expect good productivity from the workers. They are the main factors. It is written earlier also, okay, it is not only one factor, number of factors affect, but the main factor is the human factor. Yes, can continue.
Technological factors exercise significant influence on the level of productivity. The main technological factors are as follows: size and capacity of plant, product design and standardization, timely supply of material and fuel, rationalization and automation measures, repairs and maintenance.
Yes. So it is, see, now, especially with this, in this era, we cannot think of doing anything without technology. Even our educational institutions are being affected by technology. We are using technology to give better education to the students. So technology plays a very crucial role. But how it is being used? It is used that the humans have to decide, and they have to see by using that technology, the productivity of the company or the organization increases. Like, what is the size and capacity of the plant, how the product has been designed, and some standardization process is used or not. If it is not that it is ad hoc and every time a new design has to be created, nothing like some standardization, so the people are at ease and they feel like working for the organization. A timely supply of inputs, materials. If they don't get the material in time, naturally the production will be affected. And then taking rationalized measures for automation, where and how to automate, that the things become, the whole process becomes easier to handle, and it is not hazardous to the human life. And also the repair and maintenance, because repair and maintenance should be, otherwise if they are not maintained and repaired, timely maintenance, it'll it'll stop working, and that will affect the production of the whole unit. So repairs and maintenance, just like uh, as a human being, we talk about constant learning. So you keep update with whatever is going on around you, and you are always employable. ऐसा नहीं कि जो भी आपका knowledge है, skill है, that has become updated, so you have to keep on updating. Similarly, machines, they have to be repaired and maintained properly, so they are always functional. Yes, technology में आगे पढ़ो निधि.
Production planning and control, plant layout and location, materials handling system, inspection and quality control, machinery and equipments used, research and development, inventory control, reduction and utilization of waste and scrap, etc.
So you have to plan what you want to produce, how much you want to produce. For that we need forecasting techniques. We have to first see what the public is demanding, how many units are there you will be able to sell. So accordingly you will make the plan. And naturally, I would say control can happen only if you're monitoring the whole process. Something goes down, immediate action should be taken, so that whole process is under control. Then where the plant is located, like earlier, before independence, most of the heavy industry plants were located in the eastern region of the country. Even Tatas, they came all the way from Bombay to Jharkhand, which was actually initially it was all Bihar. So in Jharkhand, because raw material was available over there, and they were heavy raw materials, and transportation system had not developed to that level that they could be easily transported to other places. But now you find heavy, in fact, the eastern region is being neglected now. Other manufacturing unit, like you go to Haryana, you go to Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, where they do not have the raw material, but other inputs they have developed: electricity, uh, tax incentives, and so many other things. So manufacturing units are being set, transportation has also improved, so easily the heavy material can be transported to these things. So where the plant is located, from where you can market it easily. So, like for example, if it is located in Gujarat and you are doing some export business, so ports are near you, so easily you can export the material, whatever goods or services you are manufacturing. So these things play a major role, where the plant is located and what is the layout. Like when we talk about plant layout, basically there are two things. One is your process layout, another is your uh, product layout. The process is that in some plants, like you have different units, like drilling is done in at one place, lathing is done in another place, carpentry work is done in one shop, and then finally everything is assembled at the final stage. In other things, you have the product layout. where the product moves and things are added to it, like a line. Mostly vehicles are produced like that, but if you go to diesel locomotives, it's a process layout. Things are produced in different shops and finally it is assembled and then the train goes out of the workshop. Then how materials are being handled, like you have materials which are being used as raw materials, you have materials which are used as handling the uh, everything, how it is being handled, where it is, whether they are able to provide the material whenever, wherever and whenever it is being required. Then inspection and quality of the material should also be there, that the, because after all the final product will depend upon the quality of the raw material. If that is wrong, then naturally you will not expect a very good product. So inspection and quality of control should be an inherent part of your operations. Then the type of machinery and equipment which is being used, whether it is up to the mark, because there is so much of competition, so naturally more and more manufacturing organizations are going for uh, advanced stage of robotics and artificial intelligence. So the same work which was being done manually is now being by the machine, and things have become much more easier. Then at same time research and development should, so that how you can do the same thing in a better way. Research and development only brings in innovation. Innovation means doing the same thing in a better way, in a new way. Then controlling the inventory control, both at the raw materials, then at the unfinished goods, and also the finished goods. You have to see what is the demand and how much you have to produce. So nothing is more than what is being demanded, then you will go for actual loss. If it is less than what is demanded, then you will be opportunity loss. So keeping a control on inventory, and as because efficiency means the cost should be minimum, and that can happen only if there is minimum wastage. So wastage and utilization of the, because see, as I yesterday also said, if output of one system becomes the input of another system, then there is no wastage. Because like now we are we have discarded polythene, but it is practically to nahi hua hai, but government is in the process, but they are also finding ways and means how to dissolve that plastic material, which is it is very harmful to the environment. And so many animals die because of they eat those plastic and choke, or they are suffocated due to those plastics. So it is very detrimental to the environment. So wastage and scrap management is also a very important of your operations. निधि के बाद कौन बोलेगा अभी? somebody else should come up. Nidhi Shrivastava. Sharmila, Sharmila, you read.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sharing, just 1 second.
Managerial. The competency and attitude of manager have an important bearing on productivity. In many organizations, productivity is low despite latest technology and trained manpower. This is due to inefficiency and indifferent management. Competent and dedicated manager can obtain extraordinary results from ordinary peoples. Job performance of employees depend on their ability and willingness to work. Management is catalyst to create both. Advanced technology require knowledge workers who in
who in turn work productivity under professionally qualified manager. No ideology can win a greater output with less effort. It is only through sound management that optimum ut-
Hmm.
utilizations of human and technical resources can be secured.
Secured. So it is the managerial know-how, the managerial capability of the management, which also affects productivity. How you manage your juniors, how you motivate your juniors, because that is the work of the manager. The decisions which they take should not be detrimental to the working condition of the workers. And so, uh, their relationship with the juniors, the seniors, the colleagues, all these things, the management whole process, it helps you in increasing your productivity. जैसे क्या होता है, अब देखो, you maybe the juniors are quite good and they know how to do the job, but if they are not motivated properly, they will not work properly, and actually this will affect the productivity. So it is the duty of the management to see, okay, they are getting proper attention, they are getting the incentives which have been promised to them, they are getting certain fatigue allowances also, so that they are not exhausted in their work. So that, because you want to extract the maximum from there, so for that, anything you have to give that input also. It is the duty of the management to see can they get the input to, if you want the required output from them. Huh. Fourth is your natural. Continue.
Natural factors such as physical, geological, geographical, and climate conditions ex- exert
Ex-
conditionable, huh,
exert considerable influence on productivity.
particularly in extractive industries. For example, productivity of labor in extreme climate, too cold or too hot, tend to be compara- comparatively.
Comparatively low.
Natural resources like water flow and mineral influence productivity.
There's a
Geology.
natural environment. What is the climate condition? If it is very hot, so they should be given certain air conditioning so that they are comfortable in their workplace and they can bring out the most productivity in their work. If it is too cold also, then they should be given the exact natural uh, warmth so that they are comfortable in their. So all these things also natural factors as physical, geological, geographical, and climatic conditions also influence the productivity. And also whether what, for example, a leather industry, they need natural water to do the processing work. That is why it had flourished in Kanpur, because that is against near Ganga river, and the Ganga river was okay. It led to pollution. Now measures are being taken that it is not polluting, the anti pollution measures are being taken, but this natural water, or for example hydroelectric power, it is the turbines are being run by the water is not producing electricity, they are running the, because of their force, the natural force which they have in the dam, and the force which has been created, they help in turning the turbines, and such in this way electricity is produced. Then the if some production requires fuel, uh, then whether the fuel is available or not, how easily it is available, the minerals which they require, whether it is available or not, if it available, it is whether it reaches the destination in time. in right quantity, at right price. So all these things will, but natural resources also affect the productivity. Now, sociological, yes, continue.
Sociological.
Hmm.
Social custom, tradition, and institution influence attitude toward work and job. For instance, bias on the basis of caste, religion, and etc. inhibited the growth of the modern industry in some country. The joint family system affect incentive to work hard in India. Close ties with land and native place hampered stability and
Hampered,
ham-
hampered.
hampered stability
Hmm.
and discipline among industrial labor.
Mhm. So social custom also, for example, in India, we get lot of holidays because we have to give holiday for Hindu festival, for Muslim festivals, for Christian festivals. So compared to other Western countries, we get more holidays. For them, though, they do not get. There's so many things which they have to move to the weekends. If they have to celebrate something, they move it to the weekend, and they okay they work only for 5 days, but for that 5 days they work very hard because their social custom is such. Even Indians who settle abroad, they also learn to work very hard. The way we take things very easily, which is not accepted in some society, so naturally they'll whether if they are there, they have to adapt to that. So that also helps, it affects the productivity, your social customs. Like if you like your social custom is to take things in a very easy manner, so naturally it will affect your productivity. And sometimes like if suppose a junior is of a lower caste and the manager is of the higher caste, he is not treating the junior uh, properly, then that will also affect the productivity. So all these things we have to see are taken care of so that the productivity is not hampered. uh, Now next person, Khushi. Khushi,
Yes, ma'am.
you read political.
Political law and order, stability of government, harmony between state, etc., are essential for high productivity in industries. Tax, tax, taxation policies of government influence willingness to work, capital formation, modernization, and expansion of plants, etc. Industrial policy affect the size and capacity of plants. Tariff policies influence
Tariff is tax.
competition. Elimination of sick and uh,
Inefficient,
inefficient unit
improve
inefficient helps to improve productivity.
yeah. So even the political, what is the raw? If there is a lot of, like for example, there was a time when the industrial scenario was very bad in Bengal. Lot of instability was there. The labor class was very rowdy. They were uh, for any small things also they used to revolt. But those things have taken because these things will affect the productivity if the labor is not working properly. So law and order is the thing. The government policies, like before liberalization, the government policies were such that it was affecting productivity, so it was liberalized, and this led to better productivity, and the industrial output in India increased. What is the tariff policies, like for example, if you're buying something from outside, then you have to give some tariff or tax on it. So if suppose you are trying to penetrate a country, so at that time you should not keep your tariff very high, because then you will not be able to. So these things, all the policies and issues which the government sets up affects the productivity. Uh, Continue.
Economic size of the market, banking and credit facilities, transport and communication system, etc., are important factor influencing productivity. 8. Internal controllable factors are considered as internal factor. There are the factors which are in control of industrial organization. 9. External uncontrollable factors are known as external factor, and these factors are beyond the control of individual industrial
Individual.
organization.
um,
Industrial organization. Knowing the internal and external factor that affect productivity of the industrial organization give industrial engineer the intelligence they need to sort out the low performance of resource and make strategic plan for the future.
So economic, what is the size of the market? Like if the size is not very big, so naturally you don't expect a very good profit. Then whether you are getting the financial support through banks and other non-banking units, so whether you are getting the credit facilities or not, like as I said in the beginning, most of the uh, big heavy engineering was set up in eastern region, because the raw material was and transportation had not developed to that they could be easily transported to some other places. So what is the transportation, what is the uh, then what is the communication system, how you are able to communicate with your juniors, your seniors, your colleagues, all these things affect the productivity. If the banking, because with year the banking scenario also in India has improved, and that has affected the productivity of each and every organization, because without finance you cannot do anything. Everything you need finance. So that is the backbone on which the productivity, uh, in the beginning only I had said it is not only one factor, all these things together affect the productivity of any unit. Then there are certain things which are internal, where you can control them. If suppose something happens outside your organization, there is a instability or political upheaval which is not under your control, so you have to keep those things in mind, and and uh, make your policies in such a way that it affects your organization in the most minimum way. Try to mitigate it. You cannot overlook it, you cannot eliminate it, but at least you can try to mitigate it as far as possible. Try not to get affected by it. To extreme cases. There are certain examples of internal factors and external factors. You read it.
Internal factor material and power,
Hmm.
machinery, plant layout, human resource, organizational and managerial availability of finance and technological.
So these are internal,
External
which is under your control. Material and power, machinery and plant layout, human resource, organizational and managerial, availability of finance and technology. You can change according to your needs and requirement. But external factors, which is not under your control, economic upheaval or economic also, you have a cyclic if there is a bust in the economy, it is going to affect your productivity. Political, social, natural resources and government, this is beyond the control of the organs. They have to adapt themselves according to the need of the hour. Last, again it is sort of repetitive only. Availability of finance. Read it.
The ambitious plan of an industrial unit to increase the productivity will remain more dream if adequate finance resources are not available to introduce technical improvement and give appropriate training to the workers. The greater the degree of mechanization to be introduced, the greater is the need for capital. Capital will also be required for investment in research and development activities, advertisement, companies, better
Campaign.
working conditions to the worker upkeep of plants and machineries, etc.
So, see, finance is also needed to boost your productivity because you need finance at every stage. Like you want to introduce better technology, you need finance. If you want to invest in research and development, because without research and development, you cannot innovate things, you cannot find new things. But for everything you need, for development activities you need finance. If you want to do a very rigorous advertisement campaign, then also you need finance. If you want to give a very good working condition to your workers, then also you need finance. And also for keeping updating your machinery, like that is also an important part of your productivity. For that also you need finance. So finance is needed at every stage. So it is very essential to see that adequate finance is available, and in that your banking as well as the non-banking institutions helps you a lot, and also government policies. Yes, next अभी कौन कौन पढ़ेगा अब? अनु कुमारी,
Yes, ma'am.
you read.
Productivity importance. Productivity has become almost syno-
Synonymous.
synonymous for the progress. The resource of a the resource of a country are generally limited. Therefore, higher productivity is essential for the improving living standard or and the priorities of a nation. Higher productivity requires elimination of waste in all forms. Higher productivity leads to economic growth and social progress.
Mm.
It is only by improving productivity that employee can get better wages and working conditions and more employment opportunities. Higher productivity bring lower price for consumers and divided of shareholders. Higher dividend of shareholders.
Mm.
It improves the export and foreign exchange reserves of a country. Though productivity is the key to prosperity.
So productivity has become same as progress, because if you want to progress, naturally you have to keep your production high, productivity high. Otherwise, you will not get the, because only if you are producing something, then only you will be selling it and earning money on it, which can again be used for better living condition, better prosperity of the society. So this productivity is very important. Without increasing productivity, you cannot think about progress. Progress means ki be you have to go for higher productivity. Yes, continue.
Higher productivity is of special significance in our underdeveloped country like India. Mass poverty and unemployment cannot be eliminated without increasing productivity in agriculture, industry, and all other areas of human activity. According to John V. Candick, Ca- Candid, the chief means whereby humankind can rise itself out of poverty to a condition of a relative material influence is by increasing productivity.
So that is why, like, when the resources are limited, you have to see where to put that resources, that it leads to better productivity. ऐसा नहीं उसको वेस्ट कर दें हम. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, it's a real life example. The place where I live is known as Sundarpur because there was you must all be, you are all from BHU, so you know that our hospital is named after Sir Sundar Lal. So this area has been also named after him, Sundarpur, and this land was given to the labor uh, outcasts of uh, uh, Jaunpur. In Jaunpur, they were being exploited by higher caste. So they were given land over here, and they were uh, and and I have seen over the years. I have seen some people have utilized whatever resource they received from the government, and today they are doing very well. They have opened shops, various shops, and but there are others who have just uh, misutilized the resources, have uh, uh, wasted all that money either in drugs or liquor. Even today they are very poor. So it is how you use. If you are if you want to progress, naturally you'll have to work harder and you have to increase your productivity. As a student also, you have to work harder so that your academic performances, you also take part in extracurricular activities so that you are able to outshine among others. So all these things, for productivity, wherever you are, whether you are a student, whether you are a housewife, whether you are a laborer, productivity has to increase if you want to improve your attain progress in life. Is it clear? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Next person. Next person, who's there? Disha?
Ma'am, can we?
Uh-huh.
Okay, ma'am. Productivity benefits. First, it's helped to reduce the cost of production per unit through more economical or efficient use of resources. Second, reduction in cost help to improve the profit of a business. The enterprise can more successfully compete in the market. Third, the gain of higher productivity can be passed on a consumer in the form of lower prices and or better quality of products. Fourth, similar gain of higher productivity can be shared with workers in the form of higher wages or salaries and better working conditions. Fifth, availability of quality goods at reasonably lower prices help to improve the standard of living in the country. 6. Due to the higher productivity of firms can survive and grow better. This helps to generate more employment opportunities. Seventh, a more productive enterprises can better export good and earn valuable foreign exchange for the country. And eighth, higher productivity means better utilization of the country's resources, which helps to control inflation in the country.
So you can see the benefit. First of all, it reduces the, if you are using it in a more economical and efficient way, the resources, you reduce the cost, you increase the productivity. A reduction in cost helps to improve profits of a business. Naturally, if the cost, you are able to sell more and you make more profit. For example, if you take Amazon, uh, not Amazon, जो अभी फ्लिपकार्ट खरीद लिया, कौन खरीद लिया, वॉलमार्ट, हाँ सॉरी, वॉलमार्ट. It was started by they were a middle class couple, and what they did was they bought things in a bulk, and especially household items, and they sold it at a whatever was the prevailing price at a lower price. So they were able to sell more and they made more profit. And that is how they kept on improving their profit. And today they are a market leader. They have also bought our Flipkart, which was previously owned by Indians, but now it has been it is owned by majority stake is Walmart's majority stake is the original Indians have left the company and gone. So it is the way reduction in price is very important if you want to make more profit. It is not that the more the price, if you increase on increasing price, you will be making more profit. That is a very wrong assumption. And actually, if you are making more profit, you can pass this gain to your workers as well as the consumer. Consumer will also start getting things at a lower price. Inflation will be less. Like if we are not using our resources properly, what is happening in Indian market? Price is increasing day by day because there is so much of consumption which is not productive. If you are not using that resources for productive consumption, this will lead to inflation. It helps everything, even our export market, which helps in getting more foreign reserve, which helps in buying more things from abroad. So all these things is required. So the most important thing is to concentrate on productivity and try to see how you can increase the productivity by not increasing input but by increasing output. With the same input you can do more work. Continue.
Productivity. Way to improve productivity. It is vital to develop a high rate of productivity because it is foundation of business future growth. There are many ways by which productivity can be increased. First, adaptations of up to date technology to machines and equipment. Second, implementing a proper system of managerial plannings and control. Third, effective time management. Fourth, maintenance of work facilities in factories. Fifth, standardization and automations for mass production. Sixth, empower employees by providing trainings and an environment conducive for personal as well as organizational growth. Seventh, let workers participate in management. Eighth, provide a facial provide a flexible work schedule instead of rigid working hours. Ninth, clear communication should be there between management and workers.
So these are the ways through which you because what this will lead to, like initially it was that technology helps you in productivity. So if you have to adopt proper technology, and the human factor is the most important thing, so they have to see that whatever technology has been employed is being utilized properly. Otherwise it will be just waste of money and that will increase the cost. So productivity, effective time management, how you are managing your time, whether you're doing the thing in the right time at the right and so that the whatever the consumer wants is reaching them at the right time, at the right cost, at the right quality, and giving proper facilities to the workers so that they are willing to work more harder, increase the productivity. Then standardizing, not doing thing ad in a ad hoc basis, but in a one standard form that everybody is at ease in doing that work. And because today technology and the whole knowledge base is changing so fast, so continuous training and upgradation of the employee should always be there. So then only you can think of increasing your productivity. And if workers, because don't think as if the workers do not know anything of the management. They also, because they are the one who are doing the operational work, so they have better knowledge of operational. So if there is a good dialogue between the workers and the management, it will lead to better productivity. And sometimes give them flexible work. Suppose if they are not able to, because of some family pressure or some other thing, they are not able to complete, and this is not possible because of the information improvement in your information technology. Like we have given this option also to work from home, so you can work at your own time, at your own ease. And this will also lead to, if there is a good relationship between workers and management, good communication between workers and management, that will also increase your productivity. Next person. Next person, who is there? Disha. Disha, हेलो, अब सबके सब चुप हो गए.
Ma'am, can I go next?
Yes, yes.
Productivity, improving quality. Way 1. Combining the resources for production. Managers attempt to utilize the resources just described in a manner that achieves production at a low cost. They combine the various resources with the use of workstations and assembly lines. A workstation is an area which one or more employees are assigned to a specific task. A workstation may require machinery and equipment as well as employees. An assembly line consists of a sequence of workstations in which each workstation is designed to cover specific phases of production process. The production of a single product may require several workstations, with each station using employees, machinery, and materials. Since the cost of all these resources, along with building, can be substantial, efficient management of these production processes can reduce expenses, which can convert into higher profits. Employees use buildings, machinery, and equipment to convert materials into a product or a service. For example, employees of printing firms use machines for typesetting, printing, and binding to produce books. Employees of General Nutrition Centers or GNC use its manufacturing plant, which is size of 4 football fields, to produce more than 150,000 bottles of vitamins per day.
So combining the resources, how you, in the beginning only you have said how, what is the layout of your plant, how you are using those resources, so that they are the resources are used in the efficient way, whatever little, as far as possible wastage is, by designing workstations and uh, and assembly line means ki you move, in most of these four wheelers or two wheelers, they are using assembly lines. The chassis is moving and other parts are being added to it, so that they don't have to waste time and in moving from one place to it is fixed at the, at what point what things have to be added to the whatever product you are producing. Continue.
Yes, ma'am. Way two, selecting a site. A critical decision in production management is selection of site, location, that is location, or for the factory or office. Location can significantly affect the cost of production and therefore the firm's ability to compete against other firms. This is especially true for the industrial firms such as Bethlehem Steel and Daimler Chrysler, which requires a large investment in plant and equipment.
Actually, these two are American firms, but where they have been, like as I said, ki location is very important. There was one time when it was located in eastern side of India, but now it is most of the more developed states have better manufacturing units. For example, if you go to Haryana or your Gujarat or Tamil Nadu, because they are the ones who are able to give their resources at a cheaper cost and a more efficient manner, so that the workers and the manager are able to produce more. The selection of a site, if your market is near the to the place where you're producing, then also marketing becomes easier. You don't have to waste so much of time on transporting the finished good to the marketplace. So you have to be very critical about what should be the location of the plant.
Way 3, selecting the design and layout. Once a site for a manufacturing plant or office is chosen, the design and layout must be determined. The design indicates the size and structure of the plant or office. The layout is arrangement of machinery and equipment within the factory or office. The design and layout decisions directly affect operating expenses because they determine cost of rent, machinery, and equipment. They may even affect the firm's interest expenses because they influence the amount of money that must be borrowed to purchase properly or machinery, property or
Property
machinery.
over machinery. Like for example, if you try to purchase the land at a place where you will get it at a cheaper rate, so that you can invest more on your material as well as technology, then how you select the design and the layout. Suppose, just one second. Uh, Can you see the slide? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. There's a मान लो कि you enter an office over here, and you have to get something signed from number of people.
Ma'am, we can only see the PPT. Are you showing a whiteboard?
No, I'm not sharing the whiteboard.
No,
I have
ma'am,
put,
we can only see the PPT, nothing else.
you cannot see what I'm writing.
No, no, no.
Just one second, I'll show you to you. Just one second. Can you see it? The one I have drawn in red. Huh?
Yes,
Then
ma'am.
suppose there are four equipments, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Thing has to be, it enters first, it has to be processed at 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then it goes out. Okay. But suppose if it is not kept properly, suppose it comes to 4, then it goes to 2, then it goes to 3, then it goes to 1. So what will happen? You are just wasting your time as well as energy and money. So how it has been laid out, that you have to be very careful, so that repetition and unnecessary moving from one place to another place is avoided. This will reduce the cost and it will bring more efficiency in your. So design and layout of the plant is very important. Do you get my point? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ?
Yes, ma'am.
कि ऐसा नहीं हो कि आपका आपको जैसे मान लो फॉर एग्जांपल यू आर गोइंग फॉर शॉपिंग, अब आपको देखना है कि आप फ्यूल, क्योंकि शॉपिंग जा रहे हैं, यू आर यूजिंग सम व्हीकल, मे बी स्कूटर और अ कार और व्हाटएवर इट इज, सम यू आर स्पेंडिंग सम मनी और टाइम आल्सो. कुछ नहीं भी स्पेंड कर रहे हो, पैदल भी जा रहे हो, तो यू आर स्पेंडिंग टाइम एंड सम एफर्ट. तो अब आपको जाना, तो आप पहले प्लान करके चलिए कि किस कहाँ सबसे नीचे पहला काम आप जो नियरेस्ट शॉप है वहां कीजिए, उसके बाद आगे बढ़िए, फिर एंड देन इन अ सिस्टमैटिक वे. ये नहीं कि पहले तो आपने सबसे दूर वाले शॉप में चले गए, फिर आए, फिर याद आया कि नहीं नहीं कुछ कुछ और लेना है, मुझे पहले वाले शॉप में जाना है, फिर पहले वाले शॉप में कर लिया तो याद आया कि नहीं नहीं अभी कुछ भूल गए, हमें थर्ड वाले में जाना है. तो इससे क्या होगा, यू विल बी जस्ट वेस्टिंग योर टाइम एंड एनर्जी. if you're even if you're walking and doing the work, if you are not walking, you're using some vehicle, then also you will be wasting your time and energy and also money on the fuel. So it is the way you do the work that matters a lot. That means the design and the layout of the manufacturing unit should be done in such a way कि minimum wastage is there. Continue. Fourth way, production control.
Yes, ma'am. Where force production control, only if plant and design have been selected, the firm can engage in production control, which involves the following: purchasing materials. Managers perform the following tasks when purchasing supplies. First, they must select a supplier. Second, they attempt to obtain volume discounts. Third, they determine whether to delegate some production tasks to suppliers. Inventory control. Inventory control is process of managing inventory at a level that minimizes costs. It requires the management of materials inventories, work in process inventories, and finished goods inventories.
So you have to purchase कर रहे हो, तो you have to see कि you are who all will be your suppliers, who will be supplying goods at a minimum cost, best quality, and at required time. To select, first of all, you have to select a supplier which will fulfill all your demand. Then try to get, because if you buy something in volume, you get discount. At what volume you should buy so that you get the maximum discount. And sometimes you can also some suppliers, they you need not make everything at your own. Maybe some parts you can buy the parts, so the suppliers are making that, but then you have to seek, because somebody who will be buying it, it will be buying your brand. So you have to seek the supplier who is supplying that part is also adhering to the quality and the cost standard which you are, for which the customer is looking at you. So purchasing the material is not a very easy job. They have to be very careful about all these things. Then you have to control the inventory. As I said, at three levels you have the inventory: at the raw material, at the work in progress, and also finished good. Every stage you have to see ki, see in inventory. I'll just 1 second, I'll show you another diagram. Can you see this red diagram?
Yes, ma'am.
So see what happens कि suppose you have bought in bulk, but then you have to, in keeping that, for keeping that you need require space, you require money. For example, even for a household, when you, sometimes what happens, suppose you have not kept the grains properly, and you have bought it in a bulk, if not kept properly, what will happen? It will go waste. So that cost increases as you, the volume of the thing purchased goes up, but the discount is going down. So at this point where these two things are meeting, that is the optimum level you have to purchase, so that it is the because in inventory your cost is, or your finance is locked. At that time you are not getting any return on it, so try to keep at minimum level. So there are certain mathematical models where we want to see how much to purchase. If your requirement is so much, then how, what amount you should purchase, that is known as economic lot size. What should be the most economical lot size you should purchase? So you have to keep a control on all these things: the raw material inventory, the work in process inventory, as well as the finished good inventory. Then third is your routing. Yes, continue.
Routing is a sequence or route of tasks necessary to complete the production of a product. Raw materials are commonly sent to various workstations so that they can be used as specified in production process. A specific part of production process completed at each workstation. For example, the production of a bicycle may require first using materials to produce a bike frame at a workstation, second assembling wheels at a second workstation, and third packaging the frames and wheels that have been assembled at a third workstation. The routing process is periodically evaluated to determine whether it can be improved to allow a faster or less expensive production process. General Motors, Daimler Chrysler, and United Parcel Services have streamlined their routing process to improve production efficiency.
Just like the example which I had given to you, actually these are all part of routing, is also part of layout. How you have kept your shops or your workstations. Minimum time is wasted on getting the things done. Like for example, over here the example of a bike is, at one place frame of the bike is produced, and another wheels are assembled. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि haphazardly हो रहा है, तो it has to be a standard way of doing things so that the minimum wastage is there. So these are General Motors, these are American companies. We have standardized their whole work process and streamlined that. So they have not only increased their productivity but also increased their profitability. Then second, scheduling.
Scheduling is the act of settling time periods for each task in the production process. A production schedule is planned for timing and volume of production tasks. For example, the production schedule for a bike may set a time of 2 hours for each frame to be assembled and 1 hour for each wheel to be assembled. Scheduling is useful because it establishes the expected amount of production that should be achieved at each workstation over a given day or week. Therefore, each employee understands what is expected. Furthermore, scheduling allows managers to forecast how much will be produced by the end of the day, week, or month. If the firm does not meet its production schedule, it will not be able to accommodate customer details in timely fashion and will lose some of its customers.
So जैसे पहले में हमने 3 tasks we had identified for producing a bicycle. Materials to produce a bike frame, पहले फ्रेम बना लिया बाइक का, फिर असेंबल किया उसका व्हील्स, फिर पैकेजिंग द फ्रेम्स एंड व्हील्स. तो सपोज आई हैव केप्ट फॉर फर्स्ट टास्क, आई हैव केप्ट 2 weeks. और वो 2 weeks में नहीं होगा तो फिर the following task will be affected by it, the whole process will be affected by it. So up if you have planned to complete it in say 3 weeks, you are not able to complete it. So you have to be very how you have settled and whether you are maintaining that, keeping a control, monitoring it, keeping a control. Keep whatever I had planned, I should be able to complete it within that time frame. Because after all, you have to fulfill the order, and if you are not able to fulfill that, this will lead to loss, which will be affecting your profit. And it will, because you are not able to complete it, that means you are not able to produce in the given time frame. Productivity भी affect होता है. You have to be very strict about your schedules. Fifth, yes, continue.
Quality control. Quality can be defined as the degree to which a product or service satisfy a customer's requirement or expectations. Quality relates to customer satisfaction, which can have an effect on future sales and therefore on the future performance of the firm. Customers are more likely to purchase additional products from the same firm if they are satisfied with the quality. Firms now realize that it is easier to retain existing customers than it is to attract new customers who are unfamiliar with the products or services. Thus, firms are increasingly recognizing the impact that the quality of the products or services can have on their overall performance.
So quality is a very important factor which the customer is looking for. For example, if the quality of service of a particular restaurant is very good, so they'll also be affecting so many other people who have not gone to that restaurant. They'll be affected by the service quality which the one people who have already gone to the restaurant. So if they have kept the service good, given the quality, they are satisfied with the quality of the restaurant, this will affect their productivity as well as their profit. So to keeping a strict quality, it is not only restaurant, anything. Suppose you have bought a bike, and if it is not giving the expected service or the satisfaction from that particular bike, so naturally you will not recommend others to buy from that, and you will not repeat your purchase. So this way you'll be losing customers, and this will affect your profit level. So maintaining quality is very important. What do the customer expect at what time? See, quality is something very subjective. It depends also, like everybody cannot afford Ferrari. ठीक है, बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छे क्वालिटी का है. तो even quality of life, like everyone cannot become Gandhi. Then also the society will not run. But at least they should get the quality for which they are paying. तो वो क्वालिटी कंट्रोल जरूर मेंटेन करना होगा, अदरवाइज यू विल बी लूजिंग योर कस्टमर्स एंड it will be affecting your profit level, and profit means progress. Yes, continue.
Quality control is a process of determining whether the quality of a product or service meets the desired quality level or identifying improvements, if any, that needed to be made in production process. Quality can be measured by assessing the various characteristics such as how long the product lasts, that enhance customer satisfaction. The quality of product computer may be defined by how well it works and how long it lasts. Quality may also be measured by how easy the computer is to use or by how quickly manufacturer repairs a computer that experiences problems. All of these characteristics can affect a customer satisfaction and therefore should be considered as indicators of quality.
Okay. So actually quality, what suppose the way it has been designed. For example, if you are buying a mobile phone, so how whether if it, suppose it is very sharp edges and affects your hand, then naturally you will not be satisfied with it. It's how long it is, how, what is the color combinations. There's so many things. The quality does not only mean only one thing. It is the satisfaction which the customer gets from it. If you are able to satisfy that, then you naturally, you have to maintain that. You have to study what the customer wants, how it has to be designed, what features the customer wants. Then only you can maintain the quality. If it is a computer, naturally, it is not even after sales service. In a computer, you are looking for after sales service. There's some problem, there should be always be taken care of. So all these things helps you in improving your profit level.
Ma'am, should I read?
Yes.
The quality of services sold to customers must also be assessed. For example, Amazon.com produces a service of fulfilling orders of books, CDs, and other products ordered over internet by customers. Its customers assess the quality of the service in terms of ease with which they can send an order over the internet, whether they receive the proper order, how quickly the products are delivered. The act of monitoring and improving the quality of products and services produced is commonly referred to as Total Quality Management or TQM, which was developed by W. Edwards Deming. Among TQM's key guidelines for improving quality are following. First, provide managers and other employees with education and training they need to excel in their jobs. Encourage employees to take responsibility and to provide leadership. And third, encourage all employees to search for ways to improve the production process.
So it is not only like total quality, right? From the time you order something on the internet and you get, whether ordering was easy, whether delivery was on time, whether the product was uh, uh, safe, whether the product was in the condition in which you required it. So everything, and that is the total quality control which has to be practiced. It was developed by, he was an American, and in fact, award for quality control is also given on his name, Edwards Deming. So today we are looking for total quality, all the things which satisfies the customer or delights the customer. Not only satisfaction, but if it should delight the customer.
Production quotas is discouraged so that employees can allocate more of their time to leadership and improvement of production process. Many firms use teams of employees to assess quality and offer suggestions for continuous improvement. To ensure that quality is maintained, firms periodically evaluate the methods used to measure product or service quality.
तो पहले जैसे कोटा दे दिया, अब कोटा फुलफिल में दे आर नॉट वर नॉट एबल टू मेंटेन द क्वालिटी. अब उनको उतना करना है तो किसी भी तरह उसको करना है. तो that is why today it is being discouraged. So they can give more emphasis on improving the quality of the product or service. Next person. अभी कौन पढ़ रहा था?
मैम सोहानी सिंह.
सोहानी. तो अभी कौन? दिशा, are you there?
She is not in the meeting.
अच्छा, she is not. Who is there? समीक्षा का तो हो गया. निधि, अर्चना, खुशी. Who will volunteer? Who will be the next volunteer?
Ma'am, can I read?
You read it.
Okay. Productivity factors that boost training. When you think of training, think of the return on investment, ROI. You might have to send money and time to offer additional training to employees, but you will make that money back and then some with employees that can work more efficiently. Well-trained employees can work faster with less waste and errors, making higher output in less time.
Mm.
Team goals. Work can be pretty unispring when there are no deficient goal to reach. Ensure the entire team is aware of the goals and make those goals realistic. Too low, and employees might feel less motivated after reaching an easy goal. Too hard, and employees will feel uh, deflated and stressed. Also, incorporate rewards for them the team hit their goal. Working condition. Make the workspace comfortable and inviting for employees. That could mean choosing an office with uh, plentiful windows, adding a standing desk, and outfitting a break row with tons of amenities,
Tons of
coffees,
amenities,
snacks, and
amenities.
coffee. So fast.
Like at some places you also have, they have a small gym also. Suppose they get bored of their work, they can go and work out in the gym. So the working conditions should be such that the employees enjoy working over there. So team goal set कर दो ताकि they are for the whole team. So and it should not be very hard and not very easy also. If it is very hard, तो फिर achieve करना इतना मुश्किल है, तो they'll feel depressed, deflated. If it is very easy, then also अरे उसको करना तो कुछ है ही नहीं, तो then also they will not be properly motivated. A training में you spend money, no doubt about it, but that you get a return on that investment also, because they become better employees. This is the way you can boost productivity. Continue.
Support. If an employee is struggling with something, listening to their problem and providing soft guidance and understanding can make all the difference. Training plays a role here too. If an employee is having a hard time meeting goals due to a specific weakness, offering support via training can help them grow their skill. Fair wages and benefits. Knowing they are being paid fairly for their work and they can enjoy free healthcare and plentiful vacation time will motivate employees to give their all at work. Competitive pay and benefits help employees feel valued and dedicated to their work. Technology. Technology can improve productivity immensely. It
Immensely.
can be used to improve team communication through collaborative tools like a project management app, track inventory, and automate uh, क्या ये sorry
Monotonous
monotonous tasks so the team can focus on more pressing issues.
issues. There's a support. I remember one of my uh, friend. He was telling me he there was an employee under him who was having some problem with the eyes. और वो ड्राइंग डिपार्टमेंट में काम कर रहा था, इंजीनियरिंग ड्राइंग. And naturally, because of that and he could not express it, so this friend of mine, he helped him in getting proper treatment, and he got over it, and naturally he got that support from his senior, so that that problem was solved. He got proper medical attention, and that problem was solved. So every employee, every manager should see ki the employees are also getting, if they have any problem, whether they lack the skill, so they need some extra training, or maybe their moral is down, so some boosting up of their moral has to be done, some exercise has to be done. So support, if proper support is given to the employees, naturally that will increase productivity. Then fair wages and benefits, because after all we are working, why we did, everyone expects something from. If it is not fair, naturally after some time you'll feel depressed, you won't feel like working. Then the technology helps you a lot. For example, if I tell you to write, I'm a good girl, just simple sentence like I am a good girl 100 times, what will happen? After some time, you'll get bored of writing and you will start making mistakes. But technology, you just give a command and it will write you what 100 times it can write for you 1,000 times, and there is no error. So technology helps you a lot in improving your effectiveness as well as efficiency. Last is your conclusion. You concluded.
Conclusion, productivity's objective is managing to achieve maximum by investing the minimum. Since P equals to O upon I, and one should try to give the optimum value of P to keep pace with the tough competitive business environment. Operation management is the overseeing and designing of productive manufacturing and distribution of products and services, particularly to make sure all processes are moving as efficiently as possible. Productivity itself is how efficiently inputs like business processes result in output of goods and services. The operation team is in place to ensure the company is running at peak efficiently.
So all these things which we have discussed, whether it is technology, whether it is proper designing of layout of the plant, or the human resource, it is we are gearing everything towards increasing the productivity. If productivity, if it increases, it will lead to better progress of the society. So the our focus should be on P, which is equal to O by L. So naturally, the same I, if you can give more O, so value of P will rise. It is O by I. L is same, but O is more for one person, and for the other person, for the same I, O is low. So the productivity for that your competitor is low. So you have to focus on P, which you are trying to improve through all these means. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions? Should we start another topic of project management today, or should I shift it to the next weekend? Hmm? Okay, I'll just start it, then we'll continue. Okay. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I think all of you must be motivated by now to increase your productivity, whatever you are doing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, the next topic which will be discussing will be arrow diagram and network analysis. Actually, over here we do scheduling, planning, scheduling of any project. As I told you yesterday, project is something which has a definite start as well as a definite ending. So how you will do the work so that it is completed within the stipulated time. For this, I am taking one example. This is your problem. Like you are doing one activity 1 to 2, which takes minimum 6 days, or what, some unit has to be, some time unit. TM, most probable 9 days, and most pessimistic. So you can have 3 timings. There are 2 ways. One is your PERT, another is your CPM. PERT is program evaluation and review technique, which was done during Second World War for creating a missile. This was something unique. Which was that missile that type of a missile was not manufactured. So they were not very sure how much time it will take to complete that particular task. So for every task, they allotted 3 timing. One was your pessimistic time, that is the longest possible time. If suppose everything goes wrong, then even then, in how many days or weeks, whatever, it has to be the same unit. If you are taking days, take days. If you are taking weeks, you take weeks. If you are taking months, you take months. Year. Because एक time है. I've not given any unit over here because it just donates time. So most pessimistic means 12 days it takes. And if something is right, something is wrong, at average it takes 9 days. And if everything goes fine, then it takes only 6 days. So one first job is from 1 to 2. Like for example, you are making a house. The first thing you will do is to lay the foundation. To so there were 2 techniques. As I told you, one was your program evaluation and review techniques, where you took 3 timings for each activity, and the other was critical path method. Critical path method, that was done, and it so happened that PERT was developed in US, and uh, CPM, the critical path method, was developed in Europe, but they are similar. Even then, they had no connection. They were independently, they were developed, but they are similar. To make a network of it, like you make, see, you are going from 1 to 2, then from 1 to 3, then 2 to 4, then 3 to 4, then 3 to 5, 2 to 6, 4 to 6, and 5 to 6. You can see from here 1 to 2, 1 to 3, then from 2 you are going to 6, you are going to 4, from 3 you are going to 4, from 3 you are going to 5, and all 3 are concluding. So there is a definite start. This is the diagram related to this data which has been given to you. This is a PERT problem, because over here you have been given 3 timings for each activity. Maybe say you are going to stage a drama. The first activity will be what type of a play you are going to put up, whether a comedy or a tragedy or a family drama, whatever it is. So first you decide the type of thing. So that will be your first activity, which will take, say, if it is a PERT, maybe at the most you will take 5 days to decide, or maybe on average maybe you will take 3 days to decide, or or maybe in 2 days you can decide. So you, for each, so over here this is your problem, and this is the diagram. Are you getting it? Hello? I'm getting no response.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
So you can see first is 1 to 2, 1 to 3. One goes from 1 to 2 and 1 to 3. So over here also you have 1 to 2, 1 to 3. And then second is 2 to 4 and 3 to 4. 2 goes only to 4. 2 goes only to 4. 3 goes to 4 as well as 5. 2 to 6, 2 to 6, 4 to 6, 5 to 6. 4 to 6, 5 to 6. So here it is starting at first point, and at this point it is ending. So there is a definite start and definite. Then you find the average time, the expected time, or you can say average. तो हमने ले लिया है most probable time. So the formula is expected time is TO plus 4TM plus TP divided by 6. It is a weighted average. You give one weight to O, that is the optimum where nothing goes wrong, and one to TP, which is pessimistic, everything goes wrong. And you give 4 to most probable time, जो एक mostly it happens. So you take that and you find out for each activity. यहाँ पर जो ये है इसका हम एक टीपी निकाल लेंगे, तो टीपी निकाल के यहाँ पर लिखा है this time is for each activity, the one activity is 1 to 2, 1 to 5, 2 to 4, all these. For each I have found out the expected. 1 to 2 क्या होगा? It will be 6 plus 4 into 9 plus 12, the whole thing divided by 6. So it is coming to 9. इस तरह का निकाल लिए. तो this way I have drawn a, so here I have to see कि which is the longest path. यहाँ हमने वो निकाला है, सॉरी, एक्सपेक्टेड टाइम 6 9 12 का आ गया 9 5 6 एंड सो ऑन. फिर दिस इज द वेरिएंस कि उसमें वेरिएबिलिटी क्या है. वेरिएबिलिटी, द फॉर्मूला इज TP minus TO divided by 6 whole thing whole square. So I found out the variance also over here. तो यहाँ कितने पार्ट्स हैं? 1 is this, 1 to 2, जितने एक्टिविटी होंगे उतने पार्ट्स होंगे. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, इतने एक्टिविटीज हैं. पार्ट्स कितने हैं? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, है ना. तो इसका हर एक का हमने एक टोटल पाथ फ्रॉम finish, starting to finish. One is your 1 to 2 2 to 6, another is 1 to 2 2 to 4 to 6, next is 1 to 3 3 to 4 4 to 6, another is 1 to 3 3 to 5 5 to 6. ये सब पार्ट्स हो गए, डिफरेंट पार्ट्स. तो ये पार्ट्स हैं 1 2 6 9. तो इसका टोटल हमने निकाला 1 2 2 6. तो ये क्या होगा? 9 प्लस 6 4, 9 प्लस 6 15 हो गया. सिमिलरली ऑल द पाथ्स का हमने निकाला. तो जो लॉन्गेस्ट पाथ है दैट इज 24. दिस इज य critical path. That is the path 1 to 2 2 to 4 4 to 6, 1 to 2 2 to 4 to 6. So this is your longest path. ये यहाँ जाएगा. ये longest path है. It is 9 plus 9 18 plus 6, तो 24 हो गया. तो ये longest path है. This is the most important path in this. So to complete this project you require 26 days. Sorry, 24 days. So this is the critical path. So we will take the over here because हमारा एक टाइम तो है नहीं, तो it is deterministic in nature, probabilistic है. ये mathematical नहीं है, ये statistical है. जो part है statistical है. हम जब कहते हैं कि ये काम I'll be completing in 7 days, that means there is only 50% chances that I'll be completing in 7 days. ये it follows a normal distribution. Normal distribution कहते हैं, just one second. Can you see this, girls?
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ये जो है नॉर्मली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड होता है, इसका ये सिमेट्रिक कर्व है. एक्चुअली आई हैव ड्रॉन इट बाय हैंड, तो सिमेट्रिक तो नहीं दिख रहा है, बट इट इज सिमेट्रिक. ये इसका मीन है, ये मीन है, और 50% इज बिलो द मीन एंड 50% इज अबव मीन. So we have seen कि in actual life things are more or less normally distributed. जैसे for example you take length, height. height में क्या है, giants या dwarfs तो कम ही होंगे. एक एवरेज हाइट ज्यादातर लोगों का 50% पर वो रहता है. तो 50% इज, तो 50% इज द मीन ऑफ दिस, जो मीन है ना 24 डेज आया है. तो दैट इज द, in 24 days I'm saying I'll complete this. That means I have only 50% sure that I'll be completing it 24 days. और इसमें हमें जो ये नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन तो कोई भी हो सकता है. नाउ वी हैव टू मैप दिस टू अ स्टैंडर्ड नॉर्मल बाय दिस फॉर्मूला. Can you see this formula? Z is equal to x minus mu by sigma.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, तो अब नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन तो अलग अलग होगा, तो हम कैसे प्रेडिक्ट कर सकते हैं? तो हम उसको मैप करते हैं स्टैंडर्ड नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में. z इज इक्वल टू, उसको इस मैपिंग से z इज इक्वल टू स्टैंडर्ड नॉर्मल का जो पैरामीटर्स है वो z है. z जब मीन में 0 होता है और इसका जो स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन है वो 1 है. क्योंकि अलग 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 डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है तो सबका अलग अलग स्टैंडर्ड ये होगा, स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन और मीन. तो उसको हम एक स्टैंडर्ड में कर देते हैं, वो एक मिलता हमें एक टेबल मिलता है. तो z इज इक्वल टू x माइनस म्यू बाय sigma. This is the standard deviation. Mu is standard deviation, and mu is the mean, and sigma is the standard deviation. तो यहाँ मीन क्या है? मीन तो तुम्हारा 24 है. हम ओनली क्रिटिकल पाथ क्या है? दिस इज क्रिटिकल पाथ 1 to 2, 2 to 4 जो हमने स्टार से बनाया है. 4 दैट इज द लॉन्गेस्ट पाथ. तो इसी का वेरिएशन लेंगे, 1 फिर 4 फिर 1.78, इसको एडअप कर देंगे. दैट विल बिकम द वेरिएंस ऑफ द टोटल प्रोजेक्ट. The variance of critical path is what? 1 plus 4 plus 1.78, which is coming to 6.8. So standard deviation is what? That is the square root of variance. अब पता नहीं तुम लोग इतना स्टैटिस्टिक्स पढ़े हो? हेलो?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, स्टैटिस्टिक्स स्कूल में तो तुम लोग का 10th तक तो होगा ही ना.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
तो स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन होता है स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ वेरिएंस. तो इसका स्क्वायर रूट निकाले, 6.78 का स्क्वायर रूट निकाले तो 2.6 आया. 50% चांसेस है इट विल बी कंप्लीटेड इन 24 डेज. अब हम पूछें कि क्या चांसेस है इट विल बी कंप्लीटेड इन 26 डेज, तो थोड़ा 50% से तो ज्यादा ही होगा. तो इस फॉर्मूला के हेल्प से हम निकाल सकते हैं. आई थिंक आई रीड टुमारो. जैसे इसमें पूछा है व्हाट इज द प्रोबेबिलिटी दैट विल बी कंप्लीटेड इन 26 days. तो कॉमन सेंस ओनली टेल्स यू कि इट विल बी मोर देन 50%. 24% तो 50 डेज था, अब 26 डेज कर रहे हैं तो नेचुरली प्रोबेबिलिटी तो ज्यादा ही होगी ना. और 22 डेज है तो नेचुरली 50% से कम होगा. तो ये हम इस फॉर्मूला में पुट करेंगे. तो ये 26 है, x 26 है, क्या कि हम पूछ रहे कि 26 डेज में कब कंप्लीट होगा. म्यू क्या है, 24 है जो मीन निकला है, और सिग्मा तो हमने निकाला है 2.6. तो इससे हमें ये वैल्यू निकली 0.77. दैट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ z. उसको हम कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग टेबल में देखेंगे. तो प्रोबेबिलिटी बिकम्स 0.279. अब हमने कहा ना, तो ये इससे कहीं ज्यादा है, 50% से ऊपर है. तो 50% तो यहाँ है, ये पूरा एरिया 50% है, और ये एरिया हमारा आ गया टेबल से 0.279. तो इसको हम ऐड करेंगे 50.5 में, तो हमें आ गया 0.7794. तो 0.7794 प्रोबेबिलिटी है कि आई बी कंप्लीटिंग इट इन 26 डेज. दैट इज परसेंटेज में निकालोगे तो 77.94% चांसेस दैट द प्रोजेक्ट विल बी कंप्लीटेड इन 26 डेज. ठीक है, समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, हम वो कल तुम्हें वो भी निकलने नेक्स्ट वीक. आई शो यू द टेबल स्टैंडर्ड का, तब पता चलेगा कि 0.27 कहाँ से आया. और इसमें फिर वही काम करेंगे, बट अब कम हो जाना चाहिए. तो वैल्यू तो वही आएगा 22 और 24 में, और 26 और 24 में भी 2 ही का डिफरेंस है. तो वैल्यू तो 7.77 ही आया, बट इट इज माइनस, क्योंकि 22 माइनस 24 है. तो मगर यहाँ नेगेटिव का मतलब है लेस देन एवरेज. पॉजिटिव का मतलब इट इज नॉट एब्सोल्यूट वैल्यू पॉजिटिव या नेगेटिव, इट इज ओनली शोइंग यू द डायरेक्शन. जैसे ये पॉइंट तो 24 हुआ, तो 26 यहाँ होगा और 22 यहाँ होगा. तो यहाँ क्या होगा, इस यहाँ से यहाँ तक का क्या प्रोबेबिलिटी है. तो ये क्या होगा, 50% तो यहाँ तक का है, और ये तुम्हें इस वैल्यू से मिला 0.26. तो इसको 50.5 से इसको तुम माइनस करोगे, ये तब तुम्हें इस एरिया का मिलेगा. तो वही काम किया, 0.5 से 0.2794 माइनस किया तो 0.2296. तो देर इज ओनली 22.96% कि chances are there that the project will be completed in 22 days. तो this is how ये उसका स्टैंडर्ड नॉर्मल कर्व का है. तो हमें z की वैल्यू क्या आई थी, z की वैल्यू आई थी z की वैल्यू आई थी 0.77. तो z की वैल्यू यहाँ होती है. तो 0.77 कहाँ है, 0.7 ये हुआ, और 7 है, तो इसमें आएगा. इसमें 7 इधर 7 देखेंगे तो इट इज कमिंग टू ना 0.2794. तो दैट इज वाई इट इज कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग टू, ये लिखा हुआ है 0.2794. 0.77 z की वैल्यू है, तो प्रोबेबिलिटी 0.2794 है, एंड दैट इज दिस दिस एरिया. यहाँ कहीं पर होगा, एक मिनट, आई एम शोइंग यू. तो ये जो है ये 24 यहाँ हुआ एवरेज, ये एवरेज हुआ 24, 26 उससे ज्यादा है और 22 उससे कम है, और नेगेटिव से बस वो बिलो है या अबव है वही दिखाता है, तो इट इज कमिंग टू 0.77। तो हमने कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग देखा 0.2794 है। तो ये जो है ये वाला पोर्शन, ये 24 से 26 ये एरिया 0.2794 है। तो हमें तो निकालना है यहाँ से 50% यहाँ है यहाँ तक, तो इसको ऐड कर देते हैं। ये भी 0.2794 है, मगर इसको निकालने के लिए हमें यहाँ से करना है यहाँ तक, तो इसको 0.5 से हम इसको माइनस कर देते हैं। तो दैट वे आई एम गेटिंग द वैल्यू फॉर बोथ। 26 डेज का आता है अबाउट इट इज 78%, और 22 डेज का आता है इट इज अबाउट 23%। तो वी यूजिंग दिस standard normal table to find out our decision making. अच्छा, okay, ठीक है, we'll continue with this PERT and CPM in next class. कुछ रिस्पॉन्स तो दो तुम लोग, समझ में कुछ आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, ओके,
Yes, आ रहा है मैम, आप पीपीटी शेयर कर दीजिएगा।
हाँ हाँ पीपीटी शेयर कर
Yes,
देंगे।
ma'am, please last 3 classes का भी PPT share कर दीजिएगा।
नहीं, मैं सब भेज दूंगी, लास्ट ये चारों दिन का भेज दूंगी, ठीक है?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
ओके, गुड नाइट।
गुड नाइट मैम।
Good night, ma'am.
गुड नाइट।
थैंक यू मैम।